All right.
Amazing.
I am so excited to be here and actually finally connect with Anna. She's in the UK. I'm over here in Canada. But the cool thing is, when you run an online business, it's global. So that is the fun thing. And Anna and I have been crossing paths for 2 or more years now. Anna,
Easily that long.
so tell us a little bit about you and your online journey, really, at this point.
Yeah, so it's probably really interesting. So I'm 53 now. I have to think about it there. I'm 53 now. I was in a 25-year career as a police officer. So my background is not online marketing, it's not digital marketing, anything like that. It's very much in law enforcement. It's so far removed. It couldn't be further away from what this world is. But I'd always had a real kind of keen interest in that beyond, once I stopped doing that, I wanted to do something in the online world. And for me, that was going to be dog training. And I do that. That's how it started. And I've done this kind of digital marketing journey a little bit back to front. I always recommend to people start with affiliate marketing and recommending other people's stuff and then maybe grow into something else is the best way around, because I did it the other way around. And I started off trying to create dog training courses, and I have done that and I still deliver those. But I hit a point and I was like, how do I market this? How do I communicate to people what I do and how I do it and why it's different? And I really did hit a wall, and I was like, I need to learn these skills to get people's eyes on my thing. So I started to do some searching online, and I did a little bit of affiliate marketing before that, sort of recommending dog toys and things like that kind of thing. For, I don't know, 15% commission, something like that. But we're talking pocket money. It's £2.50 for every, perhaps, if someone bought through my link. So that was fine. But I thought, I need to find out about this. I need to learn how to do it. Then I heard about more like high ticket affiliate marketing. And I was like, my ears pricked up at that. And then I was hearing about how you could get much higher commissions on higher priced products. And I was like, okay, I really need to pay attention to this. So I did. And I spent quite a while trying to figure out how it all worked. Because I'd done a little bit with my dog training stuff, I understood how the back end worked. So the figures, how many come in and conversions and all that kind of thing. And then to look at that, and I was like, I need to pay attention to this because this makes sense to me. I can see how it works. And most people I speak to just don't see that. Whereas I could see that. I was like, I need to pay attention to this and I need to find out how to do it. And I could see it as a really viable option as an additional income stream to my dog training stuff. That's how it all started. And that's really what led me into it at the very beginning. And then so far, I've hopped around, tried to find the right course. What I do now and what I recommend now is absolutely what I did at the very beginning. You probably don't realize this, but it's the very first training I did, but it was before it was in the format it is now. So I started with that and then it's gone from there. And I've always recommended it, but now I recommend it as a main thing.
That's interesting because creating a course, yeah, is something you do after you learn all these
Mhm.
other things. Like you flip-flopped it a little bit differently because this program that we're both in right now teaches you how to create your own course and program, but
Exactly.
also how to market it or how to help people discover what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
I think that's so fascinating. There's a right way to do things, right? And sometimes
Mm.
both of us on our journey have been like trying to figure this, that, and the other thing, and that's okay, right? It's
Mm.
pretty, it's how we learn. And then
Mhm.
when we actually find something that we're like, okay, this is absolutely the best way to start. So that's why we can feel pretty confident when we recommend something to somebody else,
Oh,
right?
yeah, 100%. A lot of people communicate with a lot of people every day, and you get a feel for the general kind of comments that come through. And most people just don't understand it. Just seen at the surface level, the idea of it sounds really appealing, but they don't really understand it. So a lot of people are like, it sounds too good to be true. Now, if people knew what we knew and the different things that are out there and what's worth paying attention to and what's not worth paying attention to, then people would be astonished at what is the reality of what is possible. That's what I always think. And it's our job to try and communicate that and try and open people's eyes to it. That's really what my primary goal is. Like, and that was always when I very first started the channel that I've got now. I'm like, my primary goal is just opening people's eyes to something else. If you go down this route, great. If you don't, at least you know about it and you've been able to decide about it. But most people I know have got no clue about it.
Has this program, the Legacy Builder program, has it helped you in growing your dog training platform and course?
Yeah. So basically, what I've done is I've done a couple of things, and I have hit a point where I was like, like I was doing a lot of creating of content for it. And I was doing also all the things I was being told to do, but I really wasn't getting any. I felt like I was doing an awful lot of work and getting nothing in return. And I thought, I'm doing something wrong here. And that's what sort of led me to getting better at getting eyes on things. But I put a little pause on it, if you pardon the pun.
I love
If you put a little pause on it for a bit, and I stopped creating content. I did still deliver my training because I have students that I coach twice a month, but I stopped recommending it and stopped promoting it, if you like. And I started creating content in a completely new niche, which is affiliate and digital marketing, completely separate. And all of a sudden I found that actually I didn't feel burnt out at all for content creation. When it's my own creation, I feel like I'm in a completely different space when I'm recommending someone else's stuff. I don't feel the same pressure to be something else. It's just a completely different feeling. But I started to really love content creation again. I started to have loads of fun with it. And I thought it's not the content creation that I'm having a problem with. It's the topic that I'm feeling. I've been doing it for 20 years. So I thought the change was actually a refreshing change. And what I've done is I have used strategies that I've learned inside the program to launch different aspects of what I've done, which have brought in a good income as well. But I still am focusing predominantly on digital and affiliate marketing. So I haven't dived back into that side of it yet to do content creation for that, but I now know how to, which is if I want to, I can switch to that at any point or go back to doing creation for that. But I'm so enjoying this that I'm just enjoying putting my energy into this. That's where it's at the minute. So
yeah. You and I both have had multiple courses and programs that we've tried in the past. Now, how does this program in particular, why this one? What did you like about this one in comparison to what you've done before?
Yeah. So it's interesting because I've done so many different types of courses, and I have been a big advocate of online training in general, probably since about my very first course was probably back in about 2010 that I took as a student. Like it was a long time ago, and it was a dog training course. And I was like, why am I doing this? What is this online thing? I was way ahead. Like the people around me at work were like, you're doing a dog training course online. And I'm like, this is 14 years ago. And they're like, how does that even work? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm just going to try it. Anyway, the online space was really appealing to me. And education in the online space, I've been a big advocate of. I've done, even before this, a lot of courses online, really to help me set up that other business actually, but over a long period of time. The difference with this, when I'm talking strictly about the digital and affiliate marketing courses that I've done, there's been so many different styles of courses, things that they will give you loads of products and you don't have to even find anything, all sorts of different things that do advertising, things that do just lots of different strange things that I actually didn't realize until I got inside the program. That's what it was. And it was like, okay, this isn't really for me. And that happened a lot of times for me. But what I say about Legacy Builder program in particular is that if you are looking to start in the online space, even if you've been doing it for a long time, even if you're doing it as a beginner, it is genuinely all you need. Between the different levels of content, yes, you can start at a very low level and just learn the basics, but then adding multiple income streams and then actually creating your own products. That is all you need. And it's a bit like in any other world. Sometimes you can go and think you need other things, and then you come back and you realize, actually, this is all I need. Again, I've watched it grow. Community's grown so much. And this is really important, I think, that everyone should know, is that I have been a community manager for online communities in the past, for communities that are around about anywhere between sort of 4,000 in number to 40,000 in number. And I was like the person who kept everything like on an even keel, growing that number so that it didn't get out of hand. I know what a task and a challenge that is. And what I'm impressed is that having been in the community since it was like 450 people, to see it now at 46 or 47,000 people now, and to maintain the positivity, the support, and that same positive vibe and supportive nature of the community is a challenge. And I'm actually always praising Michelle. She doesn't know it, but I'm always praising Michelle behind the scenes that actually that's a bigger challenge than most people realize. And it's a phenomenal job that the community has maintained that positive, supportive energy right the way through, even though the numbers have grown, because it's challenging to do that when numbers get bigger. But I always find it really supportive. And I think the fact that you do have that support and the ongoing kind of live mentorship, that once you're in, and that it's not like you have to renew every year to stay in it. It's once you're in and you can make some great connections and basically surrounding yourself with people who've got a like mind. Because one thing I do know is if you want to be successful and you want to do something new, if there are people around you that don't particularly have your vision, don't really get it, and that's really common, then surrounding yourself with people that do get it and are along the same kind of wavelength, you can only succeed, in my opinion. You can feel very alone if you don't do that and don't surround yourself with the right people. But if you do, you can't do anything but win, in my opinion.
Especially if you have a skeptical partner. My husband was skeptical when I started because I tried so many other things
Yeah.
and had a little bit of success, but not ginormous, lost money. I was all
Mhm.
over the map. So for me, I just didn't even tell him because I didn't even want to know and just go, what are you doing now? Roll his eyes and think, what,
No,
you know,
I'm
okay,
just shopping on Amazon.
spending more money. And you and I were in a course that I don't know about you, but in one of the particular affiliate programs that I was in, my monthly expenses were almost $200 a month. And that's
Yes.
just for my email marketing. The fact that this has absolutely no monthly expenses for when you get started, that was huge for me because I was
Yeah.
like, one thing I could make 100% profit. Whereas when the affiliate program I was in, like you said, affiliate is
Yeah.
anywhere 15% to 50 or 60%. Maybe if you're lucky,
Mhm.
depending on how much money you spend on something, but make 100% profit and have no monthly expenses was like, whoa, what is
Yeah.
like, how is this different from what I was doing? So I don't know about you, but that was totally a game changer for me when I saw this because I tried it, like I said, like you, a bunch of things.
And I was the same. That no monthly expenses thing was a big thing for me because I was running my own thing. So I had the learning platform, the software to build funnels, the email marketing, the video hosting, that you name it, it adds up. And I've been in other affiliate and digital marketing programs that doesn't provide that kind of like in on the platform that doesn't cost anything. And it could be hundreds very easily and very quickly. And that straight away took the pressure off me because I thought I can learn this and I don't have to worry about these expenses going out until I start earning something. And straight away, that was a no-brainer for me. It was probably one of the biggest factors. There was a few things, but the kind of mastering a 2-hour workday, very appealing to me. And I do still follow that. I do a bit extra now and again. I kind of do 2 to 3 hours. Very occasionally, if I feel like I'm more time at it, then I will because I want to get better and better. And as I grow, I can see that becoming very efficient time. That's always something I'm working on. But yeah, that no monthly expensive was huge. Yeah, it was
The
huge for
thing
me.
I love about this program in comparison to a bunch of things that I tried is we have the webinars which explain the business for us. So it's not
Mhm.
like we have to do all that on our own. Somebody else is showing up, explaining how all the business works, all about digital marketing, how automation happens, and I get to make 100% profit. I'm not even doing that work. To me, like
Yeah.
with your dog course, like you said, you're hosting and that's not cheap. Hosting
No.
a program is not cheap. All that video and all the expenses of that, somebody else is paying for all that with this program, and we get to make 100% profit from that.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. I was like, how does that work? Most people will say, how do they make their money? And it's not until you actually see how it all works that you realize, actually, when you figure it all out, it does work because they wouldn't do it. That business model wouldn't work if it didn't work for the creator. And it does, but it's a bit mind blowing. Yeah, most people will say to me, that can't work. How does it work? So straight away, it's another thing that people say, that sounds too good to be true. I was one of those people. I even got my husband to sit talking about supportive partners. My partner is very supportive. And he was like, come and watch this webinar. We sat in here, actually. I've got the TV behind me. And I was sharing it to the screen. We sat like a little movie night, a strange movie night, but he did pay attention and he didn't wander off halfway through the whole thing. And I said, what do you think? And he sounds like a scam. Walked off. I'm like, oh. Anyway, I go away and think about it. He's very trusting of me. He knows that if I want to do something, I'll do it anyway. There's nothing much he's going to say that's going to change things. But he also knows that I won't do things if I don't have I haven't done a lot of research into it. I don't just do things flippantly. So I did do a lot of research, did do a lot of looking into things. And I did know the people behind the program, which was, I suppose, a bonus. Not everyone has the benefit of that. And I just decided this is something I want to do. I want to do it successfully. I do want to, like, the changes I wanted to make in my life were just, it was how can I put this? I was going to make it work, right? 100%, it was going to work. In my mind, it was going to work. There was no doubt in my mind because the changes I wanted to make, this was how I was going to, this is what was going to get me there.
And what were those changes exactly? What did you want your life to look like versus what it was?
Yeah. So I had gone through, 25 years in my career, turned a little bit sour at the end. I loved being a police officer. I was a dog handler for most of my career and it was like the dream job. I was an instructor in the training school and all these things and it was great. But the work culture, unfortunately, was pretty toxic. And as I came to the end of that, my dad was diagnosed with dementia. I needed a bit of support. I'd given my life to that job. I'd thrown everything into it. He was diagnosed with dementia. It really did rock our kind of family unit. And my parents lived 3 hours away from me. So I was like, all of a sudden I was like, traveling. I always traveled down to see them, but this was like every week for chunks of time. And I was like, I need to be here to support them. We need to sort this out. We need to get things in place. And it was just a real kind of chaotic time. And I remember at the time saying, can I compress my hours a bit and just be a bit flexible? I knew it wasn't going to be forever, just a temporary change. And they basically said, no, we can't do that. And that was the company policy to do that. It was all to do with that there was things going behind the scenes that was the toxic work culture. Other people were saying stuff. They were doubting it was true. I was like, are you actually kidding me? And I was like, I'm done. I'm gone. So I'm going to go and look after my dad while you all do that. And I was really upset by it because I put so much of my life into it. And when it turned around and I asked it to support me briefly at that kind of time, I was like, no, I'm not even going to throw any energy at that. I'm just going to go do what I need to do over here. And I walked away and I didn't go back, basically. It was a very emotional time because it was almost like a divorce. I've never been divorced, by the way. It's very because there's a lot of identity tied up in it. So I was quite hurt by that. And I was like, I'm never, ever going to work for another boss ever again. I need to be there for our older parents who really need our support. My mum's 90. My mother-in-law is 92. She's just been diagnosed with dementia this year. We lost my dad, sadly, in 2021. That really prioritized how much I wanted to be there for our family and have that time flexibility. So when I heard about you can work from anywhere, I only needed my laptop and Wi-Fi. I can make fun videos. I'm like, I love doing stuff like that. It's very much me. And I'm like, I like that you can be you in it. It's a couple of hours a day if you want it to be. Sometimes it can be less. I've done days where I've done way less. I've done days where I've just posted something. And I love the flexibility of that. And the fact that it can bring me an income that actually is a good income, that means I don't have to worry about the income anymore. Because the other thing that I was looking at, so I'm 53 and I'm looking ahead thinking I'm too young to fully retire. I don't want to fully retire. I like learning new stuff and I've got a lot to give. But I was like, I can definitely see ahead that the cost of living, that was also in the back of my mind. I'm like, me living on a kind of pension. And I was looking at things on the news and there's like old people, they look like they're in the 60s, maybe late 60s, sitting under a blanket every winter on the news. And I'm like, that is not going to be me, by the way, in 20 years' time. So I can see where things are going. Cost of living is going up. My pension is never going to keep up with that, but I can do this for as long as I want. I don't have to retire if I don't want. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is like the perfect solution for me. It fits around the family. We've got 5 grandkids as well. Most people don't realize that. Totally, I'm like a granny in denial. You're embracing the granny thing. No, you can't call me grandma. And
that's why I go by Glammy. It's like a little young glam grandmother.
Yeah, exactly. So you're embracing it. But yeah, we've got 5 grandkids as well. And it means that we can help them. We can pick them up from school if we need to. We can look after them. And my vision, I'm not a vision boardy kind of person.
Me neither.
I'll be honest. I'm not into sticking glitter on a board and all that, but I can visualize things really clearly. And I remember around about this time last year, actually, I think Michelle said, visualize where you want to be in the next 2 years or something like that. And I had this very clear vision of family holidays where all of us can get together, the grandkids, my mom, my mother-in-law and all that, and have these holidays on the beach somewhere. I don't know where. I didn't know how, and I didn't know how that was going to come about, but that was the picture in my head. And actually this year we've been able to, in fact, literally yesterday, we got the keys for a little static caravan down at the beach, not far from here, that all of us can go on holiday at whenever we want. And this has enabled me to do that, which is just, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but it has happened this year. So it's like all the things I picture, the free time, support for our parents, also looking ahead, looking after myself, getting a bit older and all those things. This just fitted perfectly.
I love that. That's so exciting and you know, that's what your brain does, right? That's why you think about where you're going, right? If you are driving a car and you happen to look to the left, you're going to steer to the left. When you're looking forward, that's where you're going to be driving towards.
It is a dream. But I find that if you have a vision and you have a dream to do something, if what you're doing now isn't taking you towards that, you need to change some things up. And that's where I was like, what I was doing was not getting me towards what I really wanted. So I thought I need to change things. I need to find that thing. And a lot of people are searching for something that is going to do that for them. They have trouble finding it. Once you find it and then you start, you're like, this is the thing. And this is the thing that's going to take me there. And you just focus on that one thing. And every decision that you make from that point forward takes you closer to that. Then that's how you change things. And that's what I did with this. And it's been amazing. And we're a bit the same. Winter here is pretty rubbish. And we tend to go to Canary Islands or somewhere like that for some winter sun. And we can't get away at the moment because of the care that we need to give. But long term, that's the kind of plan, is that we have the freedom. And I remember being out there a couple of years ago and I was like, I need to find myself something that I can do, earn money while I'm out here.
And years ago, you and I were in the same age range. I'm 3 years older than you. the opportunities that we had back then are totally different than what we have now. To be able to
Oh.
have a remote income that we can take with us that's portable and flexible is like a dream come true. It's no longer do we have to leave our nest to go and make that income or put up with a boss that doesn't appreciate all of our time commitment that we have given, right? To be able to be our own boss. And something like this, I was able to do while I was working my full-time job. So you're able to transition. You don't have to quit your job in order to do this business. You're able to work on it around what you're working on now and transition yourself. Like I just recently retired because of this business, finished my 9 to 5 of my job of 25 years and said, bye-bye. I'm living life on my terms now and doing life my way, which is what this business allows us to do. And it's amazing.
It's been amazing because I'm like that. Wendy's retiring. Because I used to love the videos and the pumpkin patch and the goats and all that kind of thing. I was like, what a fun job. It looked like a really fun job and it probably was a really fun job. But at the same time, you just still have to go to that job. But that's why I say to everyone that I speak to, you can set this up and start learning and start gathering some momentum while you work it alongside any day job, if that's what you want to do. And I never recommend to anyone just to jump and turn away. I didn't jump ship. I was forced to go. I was like, I can't, no, that's it, done. But I was like, I need to do something else. But yeah, if I could turn back the clock and this existed back then, I would have done this alongside the day job, leading up to me leaving, preparing for me going. And then this would have been a smooth transition. It would have been up and running, gathered momentum. And I would have just done this as my main thing.
My job was fun, but the fact remains is somebody else still told me when I had to be there, when I could go and when I could take holidays. And regardless of how good the job is, there's still somebody dictating your time. And that's what I wanted to get back, was being in control of my decisions on how I chose to spend my day and my time. It was bittersweet leaving because they're like my family, but I told them I'd help them out, train somebody or whatever for the next year. But the fact now that I can control what I do, even how much I earn, like I'm in control of that now versus somebody else saying, no, this is only how much we're going to pay you.
That's probably the biggest difficulty in mindset shift, is that most people can't grasp. And I found it difficult to grasp at first, was there's no cap on what you can earn. You are in control of how much you put in. Usually once you've learned the skills, that is equivalent to the output that you'll get back out. Don't get me wrong, there's skills to learn, but if you can apply yourself to that, then you are learning skills that you can't unlearn, basically. And these are skills that actually people have been in the online space and they don't know how to do a lot of it. They don't know how to use social media the way that we're using it now, and it's to such great effect without having to pay for ads, which is a huge thing. A lot of people are watching this, maybe not even thinking about that kind of thing at the moment, but a lot of people rely just heavily on paying for ads to get their business out there. We don't pay for ads. We do goofy 7-second videos. If people saw what I did, I was actually sliding across the floor in here the other day, like with a piece of paper, just doing a funny video, and then money comes in and you're like, but my husband, I don't get it. I don't get it. These are the skills that are going to be the high income skills of the future. All you have to do is do a little bit of research online. You'll see that digital marketing in particular is always up there at the top of the things that people really skills wise should be kind of looking to learn. What I know about being in the online space for as many years, it has become more and more accessible. And I would say in the last even say 2 years, tech has changed so much that it now makes it more accessible for people like you and I to come into this space, and it's very learnable skills. A lot of people are like, oh, it's too techie. And I thought that myself, even though I'd done a bit behind the scenes before, I still thought, I think it's going to be too techie for me. But actually, there's so much of what we do is done for us that we don't need to know the tech side of it at all. It's just done for us. We just like piece it together, and it's, we can do that. And then you can learn, you just learn as you go.
Yeah. And the neat thing, especially with this particular program versus other things I've tried before, we have live tech support. So if we do run into any techie, and it's not even really techie in all honesty, it just might be something like, I can't seem to connect my payment gateway to my website. And that's been really techie. Maybe for us in our 50s, that's techie. So there's live tech support. So there's no excuses. There's no excuses except you making an excuse saying, I can't do it. Anybody is willing to try. They say they're tired of what they're doing and they're willing to try something new. There's no excuse excuses that you can't get this up and running for yourself, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I just
Yeah.
asked myself like 3 questions and I was like, okay, do you believe you can do it? Yeah, yeah, I believe I can do it. Do you want to do it? I do want to do it. Do you want to change things from what they are now? Yeah, I do. Are you doing it then? That was it. That was my kind of,
Yep.
because I'm like everyone else. I had all these thoughts. Is it too good to be true? Is it going to be too much time? Is it going to be too expensive? Is the tech going to be too difficult for me? But once I got rid of that nonsense, because it is nonsense, it's just stories that we tell ourselves. That is facts. But actually, once I just went, hey, do you want to change things or not? Yes. Time to make the change then. But once you make the decision, it's like a weight lifted off, because the weight of deciding is way heavier than the weight of doing,
Absolutely.
my
Ab-
experience.
Yeah. And the fact that I look at the cost and it's not even expensive in comparison to what I've done before is totally
Right.
right. We get so hung up on that. Oh, but the fact is, you're paying for it once, you're in profit mode as soon as you make a sale. And right, there's no business on this planet that I've ever seen that you can have that ROI, return on investment, as fast as I've seen in this particular business platform. And the things I've seen in the past, and maybe you have too, in comparison, this business with Michelle is such a passionate, selfless leader, truly cares about helping people. That's why she's not making one penny off what you and I do. Just truly pours in daily into our lives so that we can then find the success that we desire, our goals, dreams. She's such a servant leader. And I've seen other businesses where they're just in it for themselves.
It's a completely different feeling. And I think when I've done things in the past, and I've recommended other programs in the past, they are very good. But I have made the decision now that actually this aligns far closer to what I truly want for people who follow my videos and are interested in what I'm doing. It's much more closely aligned in so many ways. And that is one of the big reasons that it is genuinely, I think, first and foremost, most people look at it, is it some kind of a scheme of some sort? I've had to get my head around that because I don't come from network marketing. I don't come from any kind of business background. So I remember having to Google what's an MLM. I didn't even know what it was. And I'm like, what is that? So I've learned that over the period of time to understand the differences. But where was I going with that? When I speak to people, they think it's some sort of a scheme of some sort. I don't look at it like that. I look at it first and foremost as education to show you and teach you, for you to learn how to get an online business up and running successfully. It also gives you some done for you products. If you would like to recommend those, you can, but already you have 4 products that you can recommend straight out of the gate from day one. And it's like, this is a great start for me. But it's like, there's nothing else really out there that does do both, educate, but also give you the opportunity to start working straight away on applying those to something that can actually start bringing in an income, which is, it's just, there is nothing else really out there like that. There really isn't.
Interestingly enough, I took the same skill set that this taught me to grow an online business. I took that skill set of discovery marketing, so to speak, and applied it to my business where I was working my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And I increased their sales by 30%.
Incredible.
Connecting with people, because people are online. Whether
Yes.
you're running a brick and mortar business or an online business, people are online. That's where they're at. You have to meet them where they're at. It's like, we call it a discovery method, because people need to discover you. They can't come to the ranch where I was working unless they discover that we even exist.
Yeah.
And then once they discover us, then it's, oh, wow, they do this, we do this. So you're giving them the information they need to make a best decision. Is this a good thing for my family to come to? So that's really what marketing is all about, is connecting with people who are looking for what you have and then giving them a solution.
Yeah. And the whole blueprint fits any of those models. It doesn't matter what it is. Like you say, it could be an in-person brick and mortar business or an online business. But a lot of people see what we do, recommending a program, and think that's all there is to do. But actually, just unplug that and plug in something else. It's the same blueprint. It works for absolutely anything.
Because it's the basic foundational skills. Like, I took a course in college eons ago when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And today they're still selling that course. It was graphic design. So they sell that over and over again.
Yeah.
They just tweaked it based on the technology we have today versus what we had back then. And they sell that course and the school makes all the money. Whereas this is an educational course program that you can take, learn the skill set, but then you can then resell it and have the option of making the money versus the creator of the program.
Yeah.
Which is what Master Resell Rights is. And people say to me, how's Michelle making money? She has a website designed and we don't have to design our own website. So that's cool. To purchase the website. So that is what, and plus Michelle is running the exact same business as you and I.
Yes.
She is running the exact same thing. It's not like you're learning from somebody who's not doing the business.
And can I tell you there are a lot of people out there running courses, teaching people how to do this that aren't doing it themselves. And that's a big that's a
integrity issue, I think, right?
yeah. I mean, it just for me, that's something to be aware of, because there are people out there who are teaching something they don't do themselves, whereas Michelle does. Exactly. She still does it every day.
Every day,
Yeah.
which is what's amazing.
Mhm.
So people go, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. I'm like, do you understand the definition of pyramid? Because pyramid means people make money under you, like almost
Yeah.
like level marketing, like my job. There's the employees, there's the manager,
Yeah.
there's who work.
Yeah.
I make 100% profit. You make 100% profit with this
Yeah.
business. There's no profit going anywhere else. So it's a
No.
level, it's a line. There's no ups or downs. So there's absolutely no pyramid involved.
Yeah. And people will say to me, how many people work with you? I'm like, no one, just me.
Yeah.
Just me, a couple of hours a day. And I'm like, pardon? Genuinely, honestly. And there's so many things that people make assumptions about that it basically, I was listening to, I think it's Dale, maybe Dale is his name, is in the community. And he was talking about people paying attention to the details. I'm quite a detailed person, so I'm quite happy to sit and pay attention to someone giving me the information. A lot of people don't have the patience to do that. And that is what causes most people to miss, actually, the point. So I sat and paid attention to the details. And when you see the details and you're like, oh my goodness, right, I need to really pay attention to this. And that's what I did back at the beginning when I was first learning about it. And because once you realize the details and what the assumptions that a lot of people are making and just totally disregarding it, and just that's a scam, this is a Ponzi scheme, this is a pyramid scheme, I'm like, really you're missing the point, you're missing the details, and you're missing what could actually change everything for you. It has totally changed everything for me. I can tell you that now. And I know it has for you.
Yeah, totally. If anybody, you being a former police officer, and you want to be getting involved in any illegal activity, which is what pyramids are, illegal.
Exactly. It's funny because when I first got the people like, are you a scammer? I was like, I'm like totally taken aback. Bearing in mind, I'm like, my previous work, and I'm like, okay. And the other thing is, and a lot of people don't realize this. Okay. So having done dog training in the past and I had my own dog training courses, no one ever comes up to me and says to me when I say, look, I've got a dog training course here. They never say, are you a scammer? Ever. Never, ever has anyone said that. Only because it's a suggestion that you can learn how to build your own business and start to make money online in the online space, and that people immediately put a barrier up. And don't get me wrong, you do have to be very careful and you do have to do due diligence. And we both have a problem with people copycatting our accounts. It is a problem. Hopefully, at some point, we'll get over that and get a grip of that. But you do have to be very careful. And when you realize we are real people who really do this, and we really do help other people do this too, or we genuinely want other people to succeed. That's one of the beauties of the community. It's people who want everyone else to succeed. And that's so vital. Once you realize that, you realize actually to disregard it just out of hand is just a little bit foolish. And the thing is, you can find out about it without actually parting with a penny. And that's what I did. I did watch the introduction video. I did watch the next video. I did go to a free webinar. I did all the things, and it really helped me decide what it was. And I started to chat to people inside, and I was like, okay, I can make a decision now. Rather than just going, nah, gone.
Yeah, exactly. I've had people send me an email and then I reply back and they're like, you're a real person.
Yeah.
Like exactly. People need to do their due diligence, because I don't want anybody to lose their money to some kind of scam thing.
So here's a little very quick aside. Someone messaged me yesterday and it was what I think is a romance scam pretty much. So I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen record this and I'm going to record the whole conversation. And I screen recorded the live conversation going backwards and forwards. And as there was like strange language coming up. I was like, I wonder what that is. And it came up as Nigerian romance scam type. It was English, but it had these little words in it that I And I was like, let's see where this conversation goes. So even scammers try and do that to us. And it's just the world, it's not just the online space, it's the world that we live in is full of people trying to hoodwink other people out of money usually. And we just need to be all very aware of it. And I think being very savvy, we try our best to educate people, don't we, on each of our channels. I know I do, you do. Everyone I know in this space does. I've got a video at the top of my channel that's set like how to spot it and things like that. It is easy to spot, but you do need to be educated about it. And once you've got that information, you're very much more savvy about it. Yeah, it's just part of the world living, I believe, not just the online space, but even just here at home. I could get a phone call tomorrow from someone, some oddball who's just
Yeah.
like bought my phone number off some other strange person. Who knows what goes on out there? But
Yeah. And sadly, too many things these days. And the online space is just another spot that they can
yeah,
try and
it's just a new space for them to work in. Before it was bogus callers. We used to do them in the police. They used to knock on the door. I'll come and fix your roof. £6,000 later, some old lady has been ripped off and they've not even been on the roof. Scammers are everywhere. It's just now we have the online space. So they live there and they still knock on our doors.
My friend used to say there used to be pirates on the ocean and now
That's-
there's pirates online. So it's not a new thing. It's just a new way of doing it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you can give somebody who is looking into doing this business and maybe they have some hesitations?
I would say if you have any hesitations at all, whether you're getting in touch with Wendy or you're getting in touch with me, email us and ask some questions because I am always very happy to answer questions. I know that Wendy, you'll be the same. It's whatever doubts you have, we can explain things. We can talk you through things. We can answer any questions. Go on the webinars, find out proper information, get a feel for it. I had to look at these videos over and over again before I could fully grasp it. Looking at it as a complete beginner, if you truly do want to change things, take some time to do that. And then it's a case of if you do want to change things, just know there's a lot of support there that is all geared around making sure you're successful. But as long as you are like committed to it and you're willing to learn the skills, then everything is in place to make sure you're successful. It's just whether you utilize all those things.
Absolutely. It's a proven system that thousands and thousands of people are getting results at every day. I always say it's just a matter of whether you jump in and do your part. Plug in, be coachable, be mentored, and nobody, especially with my 56-year-old brain, teaching a new trick sometimes takes a little bit longer. And you just learn it. And before you know it, it's like riding a bike. You look at, you're like, wow, look at me, no hands.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, you're falling down. You're like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to ride without my training wheels. And you look back weeks, months later, and you're like, wow, look what I'm accomplishing. Look what I'm able to teach other people now because they're where I was, not even knowing how to ride a bike without training wheels. It's quite an amazing opportunity that we have in front of us. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that I found it, thankful that you found that it's available for anybody who wants to tap and learn new skills and transform their life and their future.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I think a lot of people would hit our kind of age and think, oh, this is it. And I've certainly have friends who have actually sat in front of me. We've gone out for coffee and they're like, is this it? And actually, if you don't want it to be it, there's other things out there. You could really do some exciting things and change things dramatically. Just work in such a different way that it can change your life and not in a long period of time. It can actually change things relatively quickly. When I started, I gave myself a 12-month window. I was like, if I start today, where will I be in 12 months? And I thought if I could bring in 1,000 a month and have grown maybe 10,000 followers on social media, I had never used TikTok. I had never used Instagram. I had only ever used Facebook before. And I ended up in that 12 months, I had over 50,000 followers on Instagram, over 50,000 on TikTok. I was bringing in leads on autopilot every single day. I was bringing in more than 1,000 a month. I'll just say that, quite a bit more than 1,000 a month. People want things yesterday. If you can look 6, 12 months ahead and say, where will I be if I just start learning these skills? Let's see. That's what I thought. Let's see where I'm in 12 months.
Sometimes we take a course, like we go to school for years, and then we jump in and have to try to find a job and start at this level and work our way up. But yeah, I see people sometimes jump online and they think they should just start right away. You got to give yourself time. First off, the skill set that you need to practice it, like riding that bicycle. And if you give yourself that 12-month, you're not putting that pressure on yourself. I need this to work right now because that's very unrealistic. Let's face it, you have to learn and grow. And as you implement everything, it just starts to happen, right? Just starts to happen. I absolutely love it.
Yes. If you could just open people's eyes to it everywhere, people would be like that. Really? Now, I was speaking to a friend just the other day and she's like, so what have you been doing? Told her and she's like, okay, how do I do it? And I'm like, hold on. I'm like, are you sure you want to know more about this? I'm sold. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so we're going to meet up at some point and talk about a bit more. But she was like, what is it you've been doing exactly?
And I've never told friends and family or anything like that. I'm like, I've done multi-level marketing and I've done digital or network marketing, and that's a strategy that they come across, right? So I'm like, I am not telling a single person that I know about this
Yeah.
And then start to see me and they're like, what are you doing, Wendy? I'm like, if you're interested here, go watch the webinar. And
Yeah.
they start to see my success and they're like, if it's working for you, it can work for me because they know me.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
if you can do it, then I can definitely do it. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing. So I have sisters and sister-in-laws and friends and family members that have all jumped on board of this business because they see me and they're like, we know you. I already have that trust factor with them because they know me as a human being in real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
They have that trust enough to jump in and start doing it for them. So I get so excited because my friend from Manitoba, and she's almost at 6 figures by running this business this past year. And it's just, it brings me such a life-changing joy because it can change my life, it's changing your life. I see it every day in our community, how many lives are being changed because, like you said, people just are saying, yes, let me change my life.
Yeah. And it's people from all sorts of backgrounds. What I'm always amazed at is like ex-corporate, 25 years in corporate, ex-bosses, ex-people who've had their own businesses, other people who've actually never done anything like this before. It's like young mums that actually just want to stay at home, and such a wide variety, older people, younger people, and all over the world. I keep getting, can I do this from the Philippines? Can I do this from Tanzania? And I'm like, you can, yeah. And I go in the community, I'm like, Indonesia. And then someone comes up, I'm doing this from Indonesia. I'm like, okay, yes, you can do it from Indonesia. And like, that's how I find out about whether you can do certain, can I do it from South Africa? Yes. There's people in our community from South Africa. Yes, you can do it from here, there, everywhere, Europe, Canada, USA, Australia, Africa.
I had somebody from Kenya the other day, a few months back, jump in on this business.
Amazing.
I'm like, where is Kenya? I have no clue. Like, way across the world from me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Philippines was yesterday, Indonesia, all sorts of things.
It's fascinating.
Middle East.
Thanks, Anna, for giving me your time.
It's been amazing. It's been so nice.
Thanks so much. Love chatting with you, and I love your story and to finally actually connect with you.
I'm just always blown away that you can do this. Like, you're in Canada, I'm in Scotland. It's amazing. I love that about it. It's just incredible.
Thank you.